On first down, Stafford here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to the air, Stafford on second down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice base hit jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's got it to Hearns. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hearns, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
You see what Riddick was able to do in last week's ball game. 19 carries, 57 yards.
And how about that momentum run right there? Personally, what I do is I get right back to the line of scrimmage. I come right back at him before they get settled. He's locked in a little bit now. I'll guarantee he wants the ball again.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give him the first.
It's situational football, and you have to know you're down in distance. On that fourth down, any type of penalty would give them a first down, so you can't jump off sides. You can't encroach. You've got to be careful.
On 1st and 10, Stafford looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Ah, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And on the ground they go with the running back. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Lions have recovered. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. Following the fumble recovery, here's Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
is Riddick. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw on second down is Luck. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grover Quinn. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Out to the flat for Riddick. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's third down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He loses 4, and it brings up fourth. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Andrew Luck now. He gears up to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Lions will take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Throwing is Stafford. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a second and long.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
Fielded at about the 28. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And past the 30 down to about the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. And that'll be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Lock on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you give the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Stafford. They'll find Everett there, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, it's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Theo Riddick there. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he comes back with one complete. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Stafford looks to throw again. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 and also the first down. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. To the air again, Stafford. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Locke. Airing it out for Hearns. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. On 1st down, Stafford here. Caught right side, Tate. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Stafford now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Riddick with a carry. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Third and long, it's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Play action. It's Locke. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Luck now on second down. Space to run past the 20. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. From the gun, here's Luck. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Third and long. It's long. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. We can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Working the middle here, that's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Out to the flat for Rennie. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Now Riddick. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And incomplete there, a a nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing on third down, Stafford going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That's way too easy.
Now a handoff looking right. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away?
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. On 2nd and 10, Stafford toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep it.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
For a rookie 1st rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now they try the right side here. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll fake it. Now Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now because a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Luck. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Detroit getting set to go now. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw. This is Riddick on the screen. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Back to throw. He hits Riddick underneath. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make a change on defense, say, okay, we'll come after you instead. And that's exactly what they did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route, that's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And they'll go on the ground. And able to work his way down to the 16. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Luck now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. They moved back over 500. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile,